And welcome back to this episode of Talk Smack with Mac. This is going to be a good one. I have some people on the pod, some writers, some directors, some producers, some actors, some guys that just made a movie called Vegas Traffic, which looks really badass. But more importantly, Joey, I've been trying to get you on the podcast for like a year and a half. This man doesn't know how to check his Facebook messages sometimes, you know.
Oh, dang it. I'm sorry.
But yeah, if you guys want to take a minute to talk about yourselves a little bit, we'll go around the table. Joey, we can start with you.
Filmmaker, producer, father, Christian. I don't know. I love cinema. I love making movies that matter, and I love doing it with the people that I really care about.
Yeah, I love that. We call it the Adam Sandler effect over here.
Yeah.
Do it with your friends, man. If you're having a good time every day and you're making movies, no matter what elements are thrown at you while making a movie, because they all are thrown at you, you're still going to be able to laugh and smile no matter how long the day is and how shitty it may go. You crack a couple jokes with your buddies and you're like, fuck it, man, let's keep going.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And to go, actually, Trenton Brisco, how's everybody doing? I started as an actor and I worked my way into screenwriting and worked my way into producing, and then came across this cat right here and finally found somebody that had the heart for the camera and the filmmaking as much as I did. So we joined forces, and then we found there some other people along the way, and I think what we're doing is magic, and I'm excited to see what we do in the future. But going off what you said, it is true, finding people to work together. I've learned over the years, you can't do it all alone. You got to find those pieces of the missing puzzle. And what you said is like, you can crack jokes on set, but you know what? The good part about it is when you do get into a fight on set, because we know that happens all the time, friends can always get back into the huddle and get back on the track. And that's important too, because if you're not friends first and you get on a fight on set, you may never want to work together again. Yeah. So it's good to be friends first. Not saying it always works for other people, but I think that's important. So yeah, just throw that in there, my 2 cents.
Before we get to you, John, why do you think that, why does it usually not work when you get a group of friends together and they try to do something? Why doesn't it work?
Well, usually ego is the biggest problem. Somebody thinks that they're just the better than everybody else and they can't take the back seat, and that kills it. I mean, gosh, you know how many people, like I know personally, if we could just all come together, everyone in this town, and just put our egos aside, we can make a badass film, man. Mm-hmm. But nobody can do that because somebody wants all the recognition, or somebody wants to feel like they're the top shit in town and they're the ones that made it happen. Mm-hmm. And that's really what it comes down to. And I learned that too, because I'm not going to lie, my earlier years, I wanted to be the man too, Mm-hmm. And I've learned a lot about just taking the back seat. And I think if more of people in this world would take the back seat for a minute, put that aside, and because you're doing what you want, what you love, right? Mm-hmm. Is making the film what you love, or is it being the man or the woman? Is that what you love? You need to really figure that out, because if you're looking for stardom, you probably will never truly make it. But if you're looking to make films, I think you could just find the right people and you'll be good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Preach.
Well said.
I can't help myself sometimes.
Preach, man.
Can you flip? Thanks. I just like to have.
I don't know what happens, Johnny. Mike gets in front of me. I just can't shut up. You know what I'm saying?
We need a safe word or a high sign or something like that.
No, he said he would edit stuff out, so we're good.
Bullshit.
Yeah, he's going to be like, Trent just said 5 words.
Yeah.
Done.
Wow. He's shy.
Yeah.
He's shy.
I thought he was going to talk a lot more,
Talk smack with Mac, not Trent. That's for sure.
That's funny. So, John Molinaro, born and raised here in Las Vegas.
Hey, okay.
Maybe they're both bald. That's
It's part.
And
It's in the water. It's in the water.
Yeah. It's deficient, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we make up for it in other areas. So.
He's talking about our beards.
yes.
Very personality.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just raw charisma. Father first. Growing up here was interesting. But I've always been drawn to entertainment. My parents were entertainers.
Okay.
So I was always around music and stuff growing up. And so I knew I wanted to do something. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have much of a musical aptitude. So I was always passionate about film. I've always liked films that will reach in and pull out your emotion, you know, and whether that was, I guess I have to way back, you know, this is going to date myself, but I think one of the first experiences that I remember and that really resonated with me is being in the movie theater watching the first Rocky. And the energy that was in that theater and the way people stood up and just cheered. And it was just, it'll give me goosebumps right now just thinking about it. There were certain movies that knew how to reach in and just grab that out of you. So, you know, you're a horror fan. So I love being scared, truly scared, right? I love laughing. So, you know, comedies, drama, you name it. But they're all emotions that you can experience in cinema. And when you find those movies that, you know, just
Tug on those strings.
Oh man, that's really what got my passion going.
Yeah.
You know, so I got into acting and hopefully with a little bit of luck and some good friends with benefits on the other side of the table there. You know, we're trying to make movies that resonate with people as well.
Make a difference. So in this movie, is it about human trafficking or child trafficking specifically?
I mean, it touches on kind of the whole thing, but I guess the primary story is a little girl gets kidnapped.
Okay.
And she gets kind of inducted into a child trafficking cult.
Yeah, sounds about right. I had a friend that she was a cop, but she worked in the office and she was just pushing the papers and she could see like the shit going on in the city. And she said it's a horror movie out here. She said every single day the amount of human trafficking violations or whatever the hell you want to call it, situations come across her desk. It's truly frightening and eye-opening too. A lot of people, I don't want to say out here, but just in general, are oblivious to what could really happen.
Overall, there.
We have this, I don't know, smoke screen in our minds to where we only look at the good when there's a lot of bad shit going on out there. And we need to be aware and prepared for that. Right. Was there like a specific event or anything that happened to any of you guys individual situations that kind of drove the story?
Personally, for me, I used to work with foster kids. So I ran a foster home and I worked in the mental health agency at a mental health agency with kids that came from child trafficking. Heard a lot of stories from them. I was really geared towards just working with foster kids. I felt like there's so many kids that need us. And then it's kind of like you find out all this stuff that goes on with these kids and you're like, yo, whoa. Mm-hmm. And now it became a bigger picture, a bigger deal. And seeing things over the years, movies, I gotta do something. And then, of course, the Sound of Freedom movie came out, and that really hit home, and I think hit home with Joey as well. And that's when we knew that we got to do something with what we have and what we can do. And that's what happened. That's where we are. And so, yes, for me, I won't speak on behalf of these guys, but for me, there was something a little bit more working with all those kids and hearing their stories that made me want to do this even more. And the fact that I have a kid, you know, like yourself. I was
just going to ask that, yeah.
7-year-old daughter, dude, I'm not letting her out of my sight, you know?
Yeah.
And she's blonde. So I'm like, no. You know, they say that that's like a big deal. But anyway, yeah, that's for me. I don't know if these guys completely. I know that why they're in it. They both have children, but you guys can speak.
Well, I'll say for the story.
The microphone is good, huh?
The story is based off of, we saw Sound of Freedom, and I was like, I need to make a movie, and I want to make a difference. And it's like, okay, I want to like give my talents to something that's gonna be worthwhile because you spend so much time making a movie. And so I had started thinking of the movie idea and kind of what other movie influences I wanted included, like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard and Rush Hour and Training Day, you know, and The Raid, you know, and so just different influences because I really love like martial arts.
The Raid doesn't ninja movie? Movies.
The Raid is like, it's like The Raid 2. I think there's Raid 3. It's like where they go in through this complex of, it's Indonesian movie. And they have to fight through different apartments and hallways and stuff. It's real close combat. and really well shot and very well choreographed. And it's just very brutal, but sometimes it's very artful in their choreography, and where they're slamming somebody's head into the side of a wall, but it kind of has a little rhythm to it. Yeah. So, but like Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Kevin, who you had on the podcast, went to the Jackie Chan Academy, and so we had some influence there in this. So we wanted to take it to that level. And he was involved in the movie pretty early on as well. And we kind of decided on, honestly, man, 2 months of boiling the movie idea in my mind of what the story is, and then about a month writing it, like hand to pen to paper. And then about another probably couple weeks of like transcribing that into another draft that goes on computer. And that was by the time I'm giving them like updates, of like, where's the story so far? I'm kind of releasing concept art now because AI is becoming a thing where you can now kind of explore ideas. And it was early on when I started doing this, but like with pictures and stuff like that, you could do really cool ideas with that. And so I was able to kind of release some stuff about that and get a little hyped and get the vision of it. So that was really exciting.
How do you feel, like you mentioned, you talked on AI taking over? I know people are using ChatGPT for everything. It was very helpful, but where do we blur the lines with our personal creativity and that of the computer?
I think if you let ChatGPT write your script, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because if you were to just explore doing it, just do it and see how good your script is, right? Does it move you on a certain level? Is it exactly the story that you wanted to tell in every level? Did it follow through on every loophole and everything? It's a tool. It's really good I love it for concept art personally, because it helps me do prompts for Midjourney. So you can work them both together to get like the coolest stuff that because
it's ever evolving too.
Exactly. And so then you can turn your pictures into movies with Runway ML or Sora now. And so it's like you can really do a lot of amazing, cool concept stuff now with it. If you let it write your script completely, it's gonna run you into walls. It just doesn't work.
What if you fill in the gaps though?
Of course, you could do it anything. That's like it's a tool that you use it for. But you can't just let it run wild.
I think
at this point, at some point, you may be able to and be like, hey, I just want it to be like Star Wars mixed with Indiana Jones, and I want the tempo to be like Aaron Sorkin dialogue. Boom, go. And it could probably do that now, but how good is it really going to be?
I feel like it just takes it away. There's something more. Like you tapped on emotions. I'm very big on emotions. And if you're not putting your personal experience and emotions into something, you're kind of missing the point. I feel like that's where the true story is driven, is from somebody's mind and where it could go. And everything. Look at stand-up comedy. That's all mostly is stories, personal stories of what these people are going through. They're poking fun at different emotions because we all have our similar feelings, I went to Gary Owen. You guys know who Gary Owen is? Gary Owen is a stand-up comedian. And I went and watched his show, and just the stuff that he was talking about, I was sitting back and just watching the audience, and I felt how uncomfortable almost everybody was. You can almost feel it. Because he was poking fun at shit that wasn't really funny, but because he was poking fun at it, that's what made it funny. He was talking about relationships and the shit that we go through, men and women, both sides. And I was like, ooh, I went with Kat. So that's just my friend. So I get to just sit back and talk shit while everybody else is with their dates. And I'm like, ooh, it's getting uncomfortable. Don't fight in the car. Yeah. But it's putting your personal experiences and emotions is what really impacts something. And ChatGPT at this point is not doing that.
I'm gonna step in about that too, though. I wouldn't necessarily say that ChatGPT, like if someone said they use ChatGPT, I've dabbled in it to see how it works. Mm-hmm. I definitely think that if you say, hey, write me a film about John and Michael being angels in the beach, whatever, stupid analogy, I'm sorry. It would be so bland, so it's just not, there's no meaning to it. There's no feeling to it. Mm-hmm. You have to train it. You have to talk to it. You have to still write. Every script has an editor, right? Well, now I could cut out my editor. I could take my actual my scene, mm-hmm. put it in ChatGPT, and they'll edit it for me. Make suggestions on what you think I might switch out. Words, just words to make it flow.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. I've always been bad at that. So it's nice. I'd have to hire an editor.
Yeah.
I'm not a big guy up in the hills. I can't do that. So it's nice to have help.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But AI also learns from you, your own AI. If you pay into it, I've been learning a lot about it lately. If you pay into it, you train your AI. Your AI learns what you like. I use my ChatGPT for work stuff. I do on the side. I work in foster care. I'm a foster care parent recruiter, just so you know, during the day. But I use it during that time, and during that time, my ChatGPT says "yo" to me now. Yo, what's up? And it's because I talk to it that way as a joke because it's ChatGPT. But now it talks to me that way. And now I'm like, this is so weird. And then I was telling him the other day that what's this? And I pressed the voice button. It started talking to me instead.
How'd it sound?
It can talk to you. No, you can pick the different sounds.
Yeah. I use an Australian lady.
Yes.
I was just gonna. I swear, Australian lady.
I talked to the Australian lady once, and then I moved on to someone else. But it's. I would say that it's not like it's not. You are a part of it. You know. So I wouldn't just judge someone so quickly off of it. Unless they, like you said, if he just made a standard film and the ChatGPT did it by himself, it would probably be pretty bland.
Yeah.
You know?
We're going to see. I kind of feel like it's like Skynet is going live.
Well, I was just going to go there so I can relate on that level. If we talk about, you've seen Terminator, Megan, Ex Machina, all those AI movies. Machina?
I think so.
Macarena?
Same, but different.
What's the one that just came out? Where she's the robot.
Companion?
No.
Yeah.
Is it companion? It's not companion.
It's what's her name though?
Well, there's one out right now.
What about her?
Yeah. So as far as I know, none of these end well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah, but the Jetsons ends well. I'm just kidding. They have Rosie.
Terminator.
They have Rosie.
Ends well, right?
It's a movie. Of course,
after a while.
Guys,
we don't want to go through a lot of sacrifice.
It's a movie. Of course, they have to make it end badly. It's not like
the Hollywood formula.
Gotta
You
keep it
gotta give
going,
them
yeah.
obstacles.
what are you going to
give
do?
them goals and dreams
robots
and
win?
obstacles.
And that's bad too. Robots can't do nothing. What if a robot saves the day? Does that make it better?
Can we talk about conspiracy?
It depends. So it's cost benefit. How many deaths did the robots cause versus that robot saving the day?
Yeah.
Because if it's like, okay, the robots killed 18 people. Damn, fuck, that sucks. Then a badass robot comes and kills all those robots, and he's like, yeah, fuck them. Like, I got your guys' back. I'm the robot Superman. Well, fuck it. Like, I want him on our team.
All right. I see a movie.
Oh, like the big robots versus robots, but there's a bigger robot killer robot.
Yeah, like Terminator. The T-800 is, or was it T-900? T-900 is.
He was an old school robot though that had to fight against newer robots.
Mm-hmm.
I have another robot movie idea, but anyway.
So, John, I want to ask you: do you have any martial arts background?
He's a ninja.
How did you know that? You're not supposed to know that.
I could tell.
I knew it. It was
Right
the
now
bald
he's
head,
wearing
and
his
And
his
this is where you
black
put the clip of him fighting in the movie.
Yeah. Well, you know what's
give you the
funny is
trailers.
so as a kid growing up though, I was a big fan of I don't know if you guys even know who this is, but Sho Kosugi. You know who that is? So there's old
this
movies
in the
like
1900s,
Enter
or?
the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja. These are classic 80s type martial arts films that I used to watch. You know, of course, Chuck Norris, things like that. And obviously Bruce Lee. I used to love that stuff. But this is true what Trenton said is I thought I was going to grow up to be a ninja. You know, I used to run around in my outfit at the school at night, climbing the fences
what age?
and stuff. It was last year, but no,
He's not going to tell us why he was at the schools, but
probably between 12 and 15 or something like that.
Fuck yes.
And I had all the throwing stars and all that stuff. I still have a Foot Locker full of that stuff. But I used to always go to the tournaments and watch the tournaments.
15?
I was more 25. I was more of an enthusiast, right? So I never really did the formal training, and I guess I was too picky. I was always trying to look for something that that I wanted to do.
Is amateur ninja, is that like is that a safe thing to describe what you were at this point?
An amateur ninja.
They're adding ninja to the next Olympics.
Band name.
I was a self-taught ninja.
That's not bad. I'm gonna put that on my resume.
Too bad you can't say I was a YouTube taught ninja because back then you didn't have
There
that.
was no such thing.
What if you did put that on your resume? What would that person think?
Self-taught
ninja.
Self-taught ninja.
I bet you if you put that on your
Amateur
resume,
ninja.
they actually will like it
They're
and laugh.
going to have a
And
video
they'll
of
bring
you
you
just
in.
throwing a smoke grenade down it, shimmying off.
Yeah.
I love you. I want to hire you, but we got to talk.
We got to be a little
Your
quicker in those
hobbies.
transitions.
You know
buddy.
what? If I had that on there and they asked me about that, I would be like, I'll be there for you. You won't even know I'm there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you have no idea what I'm capable of.
You get hired and something crazy happens and you like come through in a crazy way. You're like, I told you.
Or
You saw my resume.
Or if
You
something
doubted me.
happens, and it got fixed, and no one knows why, I did it. I'm a ninja.
I disappeared for a quick second. I saw a problem and I fixed it. I'm just, filling in the gaps, doing what I do. So you shared the screen with Kevin. How'd that go? Little true ninja and not in training. He's the ninja.
No, Kevin's truly skilled, and he's got a lot of the training, and he still does it. He's very passionate about it. This guy he puts in the work,
Another Vegas guy.
So it's one of those things where you're only as good as your dance partner, right? Yeah. Where again, I was an amateur. I'm an enthusiast. I like all the movies and stuff like that, and I had my own little, delusions of what I could do. And then when you sit next to somebody who really does it, you try to learn from it. But no, Kevin was a great dance partner to help lead and do some certain things like that. So it's great to watch.
I got to punch him and kick him in the scene before, and he made me look great. I was like, damn, man, thanks. I asked him actually on the pod, I said, what is more important, the person throwing the punch on screen or the person receiving the punch? And like you said, it's a dance. It's a back and forth. You can't have one without the other. If a person throws a really non-realistic, unorthodox punch, it's going to be hard to receive that punch, and vice versa. So I don't know. There's an art to fight choreography that is hard as hell to do. When you have angles in mind, you have the capabilities of both people in mind, and then to make it all work is really tough. I was even thinking, because I watched a video of Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White, two of my favorite martial artists, and they made up a good point. How tiring is that shit? You're doing this all day long. Like, say you're working on, 5 scenes that day. It's a lot of fucking fighting. Like, say for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, you're just moving and taking punches or throwing punches and kicks, and you're bending. That's a lot of movement on your torso, a lot of movement on your back, a lot of leg workouts. Your shoulders are going to be hurting. Your neck's going to hurt. How's your body going to feel when you're throwing yourself into the wall or the grounds or anything like that? Vehicles, whatever the hell it is. And then you have to wake up tomorrow and then do it again.
Yeah.
And you still got to know your lines and all that shit. It's a lot.
Stunt double.
All right, so I was just gonna say, so in indie films, how many stunt doubles do you realistically have?
Zero. Let me jump in on that one there. So
No, we did have a stunt double.
we did one time.
Yeah, probably not.
No. I know what you're talking
But we did.
I'm going to say this. When you were talking, it made me think of us on set. You live and learn. When we, being independent filmmakers, and we're trying to find bodies, we're trying to find guys to come in and do some of the fighting just to get beat up, and they're not masked, so we can't keep using the same guys.
Yeah.
Make sure they can at least throw a punch. Make sure they have any kind of athletic ability before you bring them on set. And then when you're on set and that happens, you're like, what do we do? We had some situations where we had to finagle, and I put it on me because I just assumed that the guy, a couple people, different people, I won't name anybody, but it is what it is, but we definitely got to make sure you get the right people.
It's hard. It's being able to receive a punch realistically is not as easy as most people think.
No.
It's a torque of the neck, and depending on where you're being punched, or even like taking a body punch or a body blow, that shit is hard, man. Yeah. It's almost as if it's like, hey, hit me a little bit, and then I could go with it. Right. But then it's like, do I want to fucking get hit? Like, seriously get hit? No, fuck that. I'm going to learn this shit.
Yeah. That only works for a couple of times. All right, just hit me.
I think
if it's a really good scene, like as an actor.
Good point.
I might be like, all right. And I can trust them, and I know we're going to get through it. It's not going to be a bunch of like we're going back and forth again because you can't get past the second sentence because it's got a comma in it and you're freaking out. I might be willing to take a punch if it was right, or a slap or something like that.
I'm all about just going at it.
Just really
scrapping
on
on
scene.
for so long.
Yeah, I know.
Can you angle that
for the most part
a little bit
I like to feel it
to his way?
I like to get it going a little bit more. I've done, but now that I'm older, I'm not doing that crap. Some of these young guys should do it, but I think it makes for a better film to make it a little bit more real. Mm-hmm. You can still do it smart, but
which we did.
Yeah, we did.
I don't think anybody was like, we need to punch anybody for real.
No. We had it set up pretty good. I mean, having Kevin on set too helps.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I haven't seen it yet,
bro.
March 1st, right?
I'm gonna queue
March
up.
1st. Come see the
queue up a
movie
cool
March
scene
1st at
to show
Notoriety.
you.
So I saw a
Kevin.
trailer of Kevin coming down a hallway
no,
with the
I'm gonna
little
give you
gun and
something.
shit. And when I
was
saw that, I
tight.
said, "Get the fuck out of here! I'm going to watch this shit."
Yeah, that was
that's
tight.
right up my alley.
Yeah, if you like that, the whole movie is nonstop. That stuff. So.
Yes, I need that, man.
you
I was
should enjoy
a
it.
huge fan growing up of guys like Bruce Willis and Arnold and Jean-Claude Van Damme and shit. I remember watching Commando coming up, and just the montage of just Arnold getting all his tools that he needs to go to work with. And I'm just like, oh, that's some badass shit. It's certain things like that drove me to go to the military.
I used to love the Bruce Willis stuff because he got hurt. In a lot of his movies, he wasn't untouchable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He would get his butt kicked.
And
too.
he didn't have the body. That's what I
yeah.
liked.
No, it was more grounded.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
And he's funny. It helps.
Yeah.
The humor helps with him.
I actually did stunt training with his stunt double.
Oh,
in LA.
that's badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready to see
is a
this?
good
Yeah, let's see
scene.
it.
Can make more. So I figured no harm, foul.
Yeah, we shot this how many
Fuck 'em up.
times? Like they had to do a lot.
There's a few angles for sure.
Fuck him up, John. Oh, hammer fist. Yep, get him. Triangle. Oh, nope. Oh, I knew it was fucking coming. Choke his ass out.
That's probably one of my favorite fight scenes to watch.
Yeah.
One thing,
He's punching you in that vest. It should be absorbing some of that shit. You look like a bad guy, man. I don't know if you're good or bad, but you look bad.
Teddy bear.
Oh, shit. He's too big to be moving like that. That's why you have Kevin, man.
I trusted you. Your commanding officer.
The color looks really good. Fuck yeah, the color looks awesome, man. The blues and the oranges, they look fantastic.
Thank you.
That was you?
I mean, this whole thing is Joey.
Okay, nice.
Shot, directed, edited, directed.
Ooh,
Lit.
I like that slip. Fuck you. He didn't pay me enough. Ooh,
All right. There might be spoilers here. You know.
Just a little bit, but you'll be all right.
oh. He just said, fuck you, take two. Pop, pop. Ooh, who are these guys?
All right, I'm gonna take that back now. Thank you very much. And when you watch the movie, you want to do something. It makes people just keep asking you, like, what is something that you could do? And so we do have a charity called Stop the Traffic Foundation, right? And so that is something that a way that people can get involved, boots on the ground, and really help children who are being trafficked, especially in the United States. That's kind of our main focus right now, but over the world is, a secondary focus, but here in the United States first.
Yeah, gotta look out for our own before we can look out for anybody else. I feel like as a country we forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
Was there any specific scenes in this movie that was like tough to shoot, very emotional?
There were several. I'll just talk.
We know you like that shit.
No, one of the ones that I'm going to bring up, we were in a like abandoned house that we got lucky to get.
Okay.
And it was trashed. It just had a bad feeling about the house in general. Like, I mean, we even found pictures of kids on the ground in it. So it was almost like I felt like this could be a house.
Pentagrams on the ground.
Yeah, like it was pretty.
Or it was like not a pentagram. It was like a circle with like a cross in it or something. It was like a weird thing, but it was like baking soda.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was creepy.
So while I'm in that house,
Where's the house?
It was out south side of town, out by M. M
shit.
Resort.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Out in the middle of nowhere. And we had to bring I think we had about 9 kids that day, or 11 or something like that. And some of them were as young as 4 years old. And we had to put them into a closet, but it was like a big under the stair closet. And I remember just having that door open and seeing them all there. And I was like, God dang, man.
I know, because it really happened.
Whew, yeah, and it hit hard.
Right?
And then
you see all these kids, you open the door and you see all these kids. This is in the trailer. You can see this.
Yeah.
And my kid's in it too, a 13-year-old.
Yeah,
He was 12 at the time, but
the biggest part for me in that was when there's a little girl gets up and hugs and says something to one of the guys, and then he runs out. You don't know why. And while he's running out, this young man over here steps in and looks at them, and he is so like he's crying, at the idea of this. And they all come out like he saved them all. They're all coming out, and the one hugs him. I get chills right now just imagining it, just remembering it. And then you think you're good, and then all of a sudden why did Kevin the cop run out? Well, then there's more kids outside in a shed. And it's like, dang, man, I got chills. If a movie can leave someone who helped shoot it, who was in it, and still get this feeling, that says something.
That's powerful.
So imagine if you're not in
powerful.
it and you're watching. So that's one. That's for me. That was the biggest one. There was other ones I cried, little, tears, like eyes watering up and little cries, but that was the most impactful one for me.
hardest one for me. Dealing with grown actors. No, I'm just kidding. No, we actually had to put a child in a cage, right? With the mom right in the room.
We weren't going to do it, but the mom insisted that it was going to be okay.
She was very aggressive, which I can give her a commendation.
She's like, this is just a number Tuesday, you know?
No, so
put her in a cage.
We kind of one of the other kids. He was an older kid, but still kind of young, and he was kind of really goofy with it and making like goofy faces. But this one kid that was with them, he was just so sad. He was like, "Gotta get me out of this cage." And so we just, with the utmost respect, had his mom put him in, closed the door, and then immediately just go, guys. You had to be on it. You could, there was no real. Yeah. They were under the gun, under the pressure, literally, and then we kind of had him in there for I would say probably 30 seconds at a time. Really? With his mom right there?
I knew his mom. His mom said to me, I was like, I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable doing it. And she said, watch this. And afterwards, he would cry every single time she put him down. It had nothing. He said, it doesn't matter where he is. He will cry like that right now. He doesn't know anybody here. So it made me feel a little bit more like, okay, so we're not, he would cry no matter where he was put down. She just so happened she put him down inside of a cage. But the boy that was in there with him was his brother, and
he was kind of having a good time.
He was he was funny.
I had to pull away from some shots of him because he was having too good of a time.
I feel like because we're talking about this, we do need to talk about it more in a sense, because I know that if someone sees this film and they see that incident, they're gonna say, like you mistreated a kid during that, and I can understand where they're coming from. But like Joey said, there was 30 seconds at a time. We did it so fast, and we made sure that he was good. And I also, again, he was being put down and doing it no matter what. And so I just feel like, I don't know.
We had parent approval. I think it's going to
Yeah.
be something he's going to be proud of to be a part of when he's older
When he's
and
older,
can
he'll be like,
understand.
that was me.
And we only have the utmost respect for children in general, and that's why we want to fight against the children being exploited. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes, dang, how are you going to get the image of a kid in a cage without getting a kid in a cage?
Yeah.
And they got to be kind of young because, like, that's what's happening. Like, they're putting them in kennels and stuff like that, putting locks on them. Dude, multiple times. It's like the Holocaust sort of vibe. It's like that's the real deal. So pretending for a few minutes at a time with their mom there, I think is a good cause. Yeah. And I'm not saying do that every Thursday night as a hobby either. It was hard for everyone dealing with that
we
day.
almost didn't even do it just because, but
We were like, do we really need this? And then we were like,
we needed it. It needs to be
it's
seen.
like the first part of seeing the kids being taken.
People need to feel what it feels like to be that kid in that cage. I'm sorry, it needs to happen.
They need their eyes open.
Until you
reality.
feel it, you'll never truly believe in it. You'll never truly believe it happens. It's just the way of life we are. You know?
Yeah, because we're never gonna wake up and just imagine some horrific shit like that happening, unless you're a really sick person.
Well, that's the thing is that what we found out too from professionals is that that's what they want. The traffickers want you to not look it up, not question it, not pretend that it's not even there, because that's their biggest ally is hiding in the shadows and nobody knowing. And some people think like, hey, if you're giving it thought, you're just giving more energy to it, so you're causing more trafficking to do, which I think is absolutely ludicrous, because I think what we're trying to do is raise awareness and education restoration through funding, technology, having be able to implement some scanners at borders where we can find out where kids are maybe being like, some of these kids are being like hit with morphine or heroin and they're just knocked out and just limp, and they put them into the boards of the cars, boom, and go wherever they need to. And they don't get detected. So what we want to try and do is we want to implement the through our foundation is help funding getting these scanners through hot spots.
Yeah.
But it's also a department effort too. It's like we can help end hopefully human trafficking, child trafficking, but also help end with ammunitions running and drug running, because it can see through certain parts of the car. So they got to deal with security issues and stuff, but in checkpoints, I absolutely think it's absolutely necessary to save a child's life. Some of these checkpoints, whether we want to believe them or not, or think they're unpolitical or not, these are sometimes the last chance for a child to be saved.
Ever again. Yeah.
So ask me if you think that's a bad political policy, is to try to save a child who's maybe even here under the guise of a wrongdoing, like them grooming them to make them feel like they're a part of a family. And they're like, we're going to get you to America. We're going to get you a nice job. Everything's going to be fine under the guise. And then they get you here, and then they sell you into slavery. And, at that point, like you were talking about before on that, they get them into the family to make them feel like they're part of the family. And so they're so young that they don't even know what they're doing is wrong. So they're like seeing 5 adults in a prostitute way in a day. Think about that. As a child who has no idea what's right and wrong, that's been brought in from a horrible living situation in a different country and brought here, the American dream. Tell me if that's the American dream, because that sounds like a nightmare to me.
Yeah. Yeah, every day is survival at that point. You don't really know what true reality is or hopeful reality, because they're living in a nightmare, and that is their reality. That's the norm for them. I wanted to ask you guys, I'm curious if you have the answer, but what is like the annual income or amount of money that's made in the trafficking industry?
It's rivaling the airline industry in billions.
Yeah, billions.
It's the highest organized trafficking. It's the organized crime, highest department of the organized crime, if there was a department sector. And so it's one of the biggest. And to be honest, after the last administration, it only grew bigger and bigger and bigger in our country, because borders were an issue. Borders were unethical.
Yeah, they just poured in, poured out.
Went in, went out, went in, went out. 300,000 missing children. Where'd they go? Oh, we're starting to finally ask questions now. Thank goodness for this administration. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, how many people are, turning their head from what's really happening because they're making a little bit of money on it too. The handshake deals that they have, in the black market, and these horrible ass people or groups of people from around the world, they're like, hey, come here.
Yeah, but also let's talk about the satanic ritual abuse that happens with the richest and the richest of the richest. Whether you want to believe it or not, these
Talk about
people
drinking baby blood and
want
shit?
to sacrifice children to get a high off of their
Another rabbit hole right
adrenaline,
here.
and it's very draconian.
And now I feel like most people are saying, come on, that's fake. But when you think about it, when you have so much money to where you
can do anything.
everything,
What did the Nazis do?
how are they getting that dopamine? How are they getting that hit in their body to make them feel the
Would
shit?
they drink blood? You don't think some crazy rich guy was like, oh, vampires drink blood? Well, let me give it a shot.
That's why Dracula stayed around for so long.
Or you can go
Shit.
even deeper into a demonic, to where they are literally worshiping evil itself. And they are taking cue from ancient rituals where it includes human sacrifice, drinking blood. And now that's just the richest of the rich, the cliques of the cliques that believe in this, and that's their faith. And that's now in modern times. And how that messes with extraterrestrials or demons or however that is, the spiritual side of things. What we know is that this is a real issue that's happening right now in our world. And the children are more, like his character says, they should be treated more than pieces of shit. They deserve more.
Opportunity, a chance at life without having their brain all fucked up. Now you don't know who to trust. You don't know what to think. You've never been loved. All you know, you've been in fight or flight your whole life. You have so many of these emotions that are just out of whack. Your balance of your body is just off.
And then a character in our movie. She is one of the top characters or the top bad people in the movie. And she's grooming these kids to become the next her or whatnot. And she reveals that she also had this happen to her. So when they groom the kids, it's a horrible story. But if you don't help them and catch that and help restore them, they can become just as bad. It's super horrible. It's like a virus.
Yeah.
Like abused kids abuse kids. Hurt people.
Yeah.
Bullies
why-
bully, man. They do it
That's
for
why
a
I
reason.
call bullies actually the victim. Because a bully bullies because he's been bullied, and that's why they're bullies. So they are the victim. The
So
victim is
insecure
not the
and
one
broken.
getting bullied. The bully is the victim. That's how I look at it. It's a way to.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, shit, that's how it is, man. So I have a segment on the show called Actors on Actors, where I ask you guys some acting questions. This actor, this movie, and such.
Nice.
Because you guys have a martial arts influenced movie, I want to start there. And who would you guys take, Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee?
In what regard?
A real fight?
Not in a fight. If you had to take them
He's your
for
lead actor?
stardom, okay, can you
Stardom.
can you say Bruce Lee would have absolutely destroyed Jackie Chan, or
In
can
celebrity, in fame, or in like a fight?
we'll go with success. In terms of success,
If they're both in their prime, well, Jackie Chan is more successful, I think.
Well, I think
Well,
Jackie.
because Bruce Lee, died at a young age. How
Well-
much more would he have accomplished if he would have been able to live a longer life?
Oh, is that the question?
Let's make it weird,
well, I think
Maybe.
I think Jackie Chan just has such a personality about him, being funny and all that. I know Bruce Lee had very dry sense of humor when he did speak, but I think Jackie Chan would have been more liked by all,
Yeah, he's more of a businessman too.
And Jackie Chan was more. I mean, at the end of the day, Jackie Chan's the badass. I'm sorry, that dude, they'll whoop anybody. But as far as what you're saying overall, just because you're the best fighter doesn't mean you're the best
most successful
package
person.
deal.
Yeah.
But it's a tough one though. I will say that. But I still think Jackie Chan. But then people say no, it's Bruce Lee. But I grew up more around Jackie Chan, right? So we always end up going with the one we grew up more around.
Right,
It's like
right.
in sports too. I saw Jackie Chan more. But as far as filmmaking, I'd rather have Jackie Chan just because I like humor. I like his persona.
But he still does badass.
And he's still badass.
And he's really
Yeah.
cool with like agile moves, like climbing walls or like going through something small or something like that, you know, or going fast and then making a tight turn. And like he's good with like transference of energy, like kinetic energy. He's really good with that. Like Jet Li, my favorites. He's good with his hands. He's like a fast hand guy, which Jackie Chan isn't too, but Jet Li is like the next level of fast hands.
I think he has to be because Jet Li's a real small guy. Yeah, isn't he?
I think they're all small, to be honest.
I think
I think Jackie was the bigger out of most of them. I could be wrong, but I know Jet
can
Li
look
is
it
maybe
up.
like 5'5", maybe 5'6", maybe 120. So it's like, yeah, you better fucking throw them hands quick.
Yeah.
All right, we can start with you on this one. We'll keep it on Jackie Chan. Better stunt performer, Jackie Chan or Tom Cruise?
Stunts performer?
Well, how are you classifying stunts? Like physicality?
I'm just keep it
Okay,
broad.
physicality, Jackie Chan all day long. You know, as far as, you know, elaborate stunts, because, you know, you see the stuff where Jackie Chan comes up through almost like the Asian acrobatic side of it, where they're using ladders and brooms and things like that and jumping through, like parkour through small windowsills and stuff like that. You don't see Tom Cruise doing all that stuff. But you see Tom Cruise driving a motorcycle off of a cliff and then parachuting down, right? So it's much more elaborate and crazy. But the physicality, I think, still goes to Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan,
sure.
I mean, we all know the story of Tom Cruise jumping across a building and breaking his ankle, and he kept going, right? How many times did Jackie Chan break bones? And
Every time.
And he just keep going.
see it at the end
Keep going.
of all of his
He
movies.
gets hurt
Oh, the
all the
blooper
time.
reel,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like, oh, dude, he broke
he's
his leg
always
jumping
hurt.
off of a helicopter onto the hoverboard.
I have to give that one to Jackie Chan all day. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go around. We'll start with you, Joey. Sylvester Stallone or Arnold?
You know, that's actually, it's sort of shifted in his older age because I think I prefer Sylvester Stallone now. I think he's been really good in Creed. I thought, like, he had, a Best Supporting nomination in the Academy Awards for his role in Creed 2, I believe, right? Where he died. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I don't think he died. He stayed alive. He was just
No,
old
he
and
dies,
just
I
shriveling.
think. I think he dies.
I don't think he died.
Really?
Yeah.
Creed 2? We should look that up.
Yeah, we should look it up.
Well, anyway, his performance, I thought, in the first Creed and the second Creed were great. He does die though, right? He's got to die. I think
look
so.
that up.
That's part of the thing.
I'm gonna
because
get
he's
it,
not in
Jamie.
the third one. He didn't just
I gotta turn my
disappear.
phone on.
Because he
I
was
think
just
this is
too,
worthy.
He's too old to train. He was like Mickey.
He
and
had,
then
he
dude,
was
I think
sick.
he was with
He
him,
was
bro.
sick.
he was sick
I remember that
fighting
part.
cancer, and
All
then,
right,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he beat
They
it.
didn't,
Hold on,
because
let's
if he
look
died, they would have had a huge.
Rocky die?
It would have been
Question
like a big deal on the film. Like we would have had to feel like we were all there for that.
Yeah, no, I feel that for sure.
Oh, okay. So in a deleted scene in Creed 2, it's revealed that he died at approximately 73 years old. But he
A
did not
deleted
die in the
scene.
movie, though. Officially.
Oh, okay.
For Hollywood purposes.
So I would
They
say
keep
so.
moving.
So Arnold younger because I just liked his movies more. I think, and I didn't get into Rocky until later in life. Honestly, I was like, Rocky. How many of these are there going to be? What are we going to do here? So many Rockies. But I knew the legacy of Rocky because I was like, I'm always like keeping up with the Academy Awards because that's kind of my. I'm like, oh, okay, that it won that. Okay, so that's something. But Arnold, though, he's coming in with Terminator 2. He's working with Jim Cameron in Terminator, and then Terminator 2. This guy was in Predator. He was in, what was the other one with the C? Commando? Commando.
That's what I was talking about before. That's my
Predator?
shit.
Anyone? No?
Conan.
Yeah, there you go. But then he also did these funny-ass movies that I loved, like Kindergarten Cop.
And the
Yeah.
Christmas one.
He did True Lies.
Twins.
Twins.
Live with Jamie
Jingle
Lee.
All
He
the
did
Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Mhm.
Jingle All the Way. And then Sylvester
Guys,
Stallone was
stop
like,
talking about me.
he did Rocky.
I love it.
He did. He did
Rambo.
Judge Dredd, which was cool.
That was cool.
He did. What was the one in the future where he was a part of
Demolition Man
Demolition
with
Man. That was
Wesley
cool. It's
Snipes.
just getting a lot of press right now because of the technology in that. And then what else was
Cobra.
he big?
Rambo
in?
was huge.
Cliffhanger. He did Cliffhanger. Rambo was huge.
Cliffhanger was.
What else was Sylvester in later in life? Because he didn't really. He did
now
Well,
Tulsa
if we
King.
talk about like acting and stuff like that versus the two, there was Copland,
Yeah, Copland with Robert De Niro. That's right.
Harvey
That was really good,
Keitel.
actually.
I mean, that was.
What else?
I think that's
Anything
one of
else?
his best roles as far as acting is concerned.
Right. I don't think there's much though after that. I think Arnold's coming in swinging hot with like blockbuster hits
Early on, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he.
Oh, the Expendables too. Later on.
Expendables.
That's Sylvester.
All the
Right?
both of them, but we're gonna get
Eventually,
that
he
to
brought
Sly.
that on, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I think Sly's the director of that and writer of that. He
got
made that whole thing happen.
3 of those. So
He came back. He came back.
Sly's been doing this for like.
So I would say
60
Arnold.
What
years.
about the one they
Yeah.
did together, the breakout one?
I don't know.
In the
how
jail.
that
Oh,
went.
Escape Plan.
Escape Plan.
Did you see it? Was it good?
Yeah, it was
a good
good.
movie.
I never watched
Yeah.
it.
They weren't beating anybody up. It was more of a thinking movie, which was pretty cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with you. I agree 100%. I love both of them, but I loved Arnold early on, and I loved him Sylvester Stallone later of his stuff. I like Tulsa King. I love watching him as an older actor. He's great.
Yeah.
Watching Arnold now, he's cool. I like Arnold, but watching him now, he's just
Go sit down, Arnold.
yeah.
Sorry. Your time's done, buddy.
He doesn't play an old guy well.
The last one I saw Arnold in that I really liked, I think it was called Sabotage. And it starts
Yes.
off here in Vegas, actually, and then it goes through like the desert driving through down to the border, pretty much. And it's
Isn't
like
he
a
a cop?
small,
A sheriff?
like a sheriff of
Yeah.
a small border town, and it's like the last
Johnny
stand.
Knoxville's in it?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and I actually really liked that movie.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is a really entertaining movie." I did not expect that. I love those.
And
when those happen,
he
too.
played an old man sheriff.
Sheriff, yeah.
He wasn't like commando sheriff, you know? And that's the good thing is he took on a role that actually fit his age bracket right now.
Well, did
Some
you
of
see
these guys
Maggie?
Maggie.
Oh, he got a lot of good rep for that, right? I never saw.
I'm surprised maybe you haven't.
Is
into
that
a
the zombie?
Yeah.
Yeah. With Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
pretty good?
I've never seen it.
But see, that's one of those ones where Arnold was showing his chops. You know what I mean? It wasn't just all about brute force and stuff like that. He was actually acting it.
What'd you think?
I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you think
I
about it,
need to
this
check it
guy
out.
came from another country,
Had to
comes in
learn
here,
the-
had to
the
learn the language.
Yeah.
He was buff as all can be, he was so fit.
He was a good male role model too.
And look what he did. I mean, unbelievable. Talking about the what is it? The America's, what is it?
American Dream.
The American dream, baby.
Falling over there.
Yeah, that water's got vodka in it.
Oh
Should
shit.
take a nap. Over there.
Yeah.
He
I think,
found
I think
out.
Kate. I think Kate's. She's a
Found out the secret of the podcast.
Kate Diddy back there.
Nice
She
try.
got me.
Okay. Better modern day action star, Dwayne Johnson or Jason Statham?
Oh,
Dang! Came in with the questions. Hit him with the high.
I love Dwayne Johnson, but I think Jason Statham, as far as the action, the fighting, he's the one that I see him doing a better job. But overall, acting wise, and overall, I like Dwayne Johnson.
I'm gonna have to say The Rock.
Okay.
I like Jason Statham.
Crank.
The Rock
You
is
guys
The
seen
Rock,
Crank?
man. Come on, he's the people's champ.
Talk your shit.
WWF,
Yeah.
WWE superstar.
And just for the
The
record,
champ.
Dwayne Johnson is my favorite overall.
The Rock is the man.
I'm answering the way he said it. Just so
Can you smell?
Hey, Joey, something's in his
Talk
water
smack
too.
with Mac, man. That shit happens. You show up and you're like,
Yes,
fuck, I
he's-
got a microphone, the lights are on, I'm ready
These
to talk some
M&M's got
shit.
MDMA in it. I'm
He
just
started
kidding.
off quiet and just chill, and now he's going off his rocker.
Right. Who you think,
when we talk
Rock
about The
or
Rock-
Statham?
Right. I'm on my way.
What?
Do you smell toast?
So I guess it depends on the movie, right? So if you think about like The Rock and Scorpion King,
That's the thing you think of Rock in,
Right. Dude. No.
as Scorpion King?
no, but no,
played the
as I
Scorpion.
know,
He was
I
great.
said it that way.
He was great in Scorpion King.
No,
was like his
I'm more
first
of like
real
a
movie.
San Andreas, right? I think when he does action movies that are a little more grounded like that, then I like him. If it's too off the, then it becomes a little comical. So where
Hobbs and
you know,
Shaw.
and even Jason
Yeah.
Statham,
You don't like
he
funny
does,
things,
He
huh?
does a little, fantastical stuff. But I actually like his action movies better.
He's a Crank and Crank 2 are two of my favorite action
Transporter.
movies. Yeah, Transporter, same thing.
But-
I like Crank a lot because it's like, okay, if you stop, you're gonna die. So that tells you right then and there, this movie's gonna be very fast paced, shoot 'em up, bang bang, gonna beat everybody's ass, and I have to find a cure. So that movie is awesome.
Jason's the same
Same
He's
guy
the
every
same
time.
guy every
He
time.
is. You're right.
Oh, and
Now-
Dwayne Johnson's not.
No, I was
He
just going to say,
tries.
Dwayne
At least
Johnson.
he tries. You're gonna give him long
he's-
hair and,
at the end of
no
the day,
hair,
I mean,
a beard.
Will
No
Smith is Will
beard.
Smith in every damn movie, right? I mean, you put yourself in there. That's what they like. They like the person. But Dwayne Johnson, at least I feel like I'm watching him be that guy. Or I feel like I'm watching. Every time I'm watching a Jason Statham, every time, it's Jason to me.
Did you see The Rock in Pain and Gain?
Oh,
Oh yeah,
great.
Michael Bay
yeah,
movie?
Yeah, with Wahlberg.
Dude, yeah, he
Great
looks like him,
movie.
not him at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's acting. I think
he did a good
that's
job
a
in that
great
one, yeah.
way to use physicality. And yeah,
I
big
really
fan.
liked him in Central Intelligence.
Oh,
I feel like his
that-
humor
I think
in
him
that
and
that
Kevin
is
Hart are
hilarious.
Kevin Hart.
It's an interesting duo for sure.
What's the one station? Homeland. Was it called Homeland? Where he was. I think it's one of his better ones, where it's not such a fantastical type of movie. Jason Statham.
Was it about?
Oh yeah, sometimes Statham he be making these movies that no one sees.
Have you guys, speaking of Statham movies nobody sees, have you guys seen Ghosts of Mars with Statham and Ice Cube? Came out in
Ghost
like
of Mars.
02.
Dude, actually, I think I actually went to a date that I remember because we snuck out a Bubble Boy because we were like, this movie sucks. No offense, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Take a date to Bubble Boy.
And we were like, we got to get out of here because the ladies did not want to be a Bubble Boy. So we went
Take the
to
ladies to Ghosts of Mars.
Ghost of Mars. That's it. We snuck in. No, there's a story here, guys. And we snuck in and we were
gonna
making
follow
out
this
with them in
story.
the back of the theater. And guess what happens? Oh my gosh, the girl's mom. They come in looking for the girls.
Oh no!
Apparently they were they were sneaking, watching them in Bubble Boy. Couldn't find them. Went all around and found us in Ghost of Mars.
They're probably like, they'll never be in there. Ghosts of Mars.
And they were, and we never talked to them ever again.
I gotta.
they're doing well.
I gotta follow up this story really quickly. When I was 16, I went on a date with a girl. Her name is Brooke. Hey, Brooke. And Brooke and I went to a movie. She said, "I'll get the tickets to." I was like, "Just go pick a movie." She went and got the tickets. I showed up. I go with her. We go inside and we sit down. And all of a sudden, we're watching Schindler's List, and we're 16 years old. She was like, "What is this?" She had no idea. And I'm like, this is really not a good movie for us to be on a date to.
What's Schindler's
You knew?
List?
Schindler's List?
Yeah, I don't know.
Steven
what that is.
Spielberg. It's about the Holocaust.
The Holocaust, bro. And it's like a 3-hour movie.
very strong rendition
And-
of the Holocaust. Like naked people, like being tortured. Like
It was-
Ralph Fiennes, by the way, amazing performance in that, and Liam Neeson as well. And
Look,
who's the guy that plays Gandhi? Sir.
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley.
I personally
Amazing.
would have been able to watch it because I was into filmmaking back then, but she was totally not cool with it. And I'm like trying to like,
Fuck it, let's
hey,
just make
Yeah,
out.
let's make
Shit,
out
yeah.
during the middle of the gas chamber
can we
scene.
make out in Schindler's List? No, we cannot. And then we sat right in the middle, and she wanted to get up and leave, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna have to get up and leave in the middle of Schindler's List. And then the fact that she had no idea what Schindler's List was, and I was like, we just learned this in history class. Anyway, so we didn't date for very long after that. In fact, I just talked to her recently. Hey, Brooke.
Gonna watch this.
Brooke, hey.
Look, Schindler's List. You watch it now?
Yeah, she's.
Last one, and we'll start with you, John. Well, she's changing that.
I was gonna say,
Can you handle that?
Yeah.
Shit, looks like she's getting her ass whooped a little bit.
There
There you go, player. I got this. Don't even trip. This is why I get paid the big bucks, you know? A cool $2.99 per hour. Which comedic actor has the best dramatic chops? Jim Carrey or Robin Williams?
Robin Williams.
Oh no, this is John's.
I concur with what Joey said. You know what's interesting about that is I think some actors have surprised people by what they're capable of doing based upon the opportunities they've been given.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if we're only looking at the movies that they've done, then obviously I would say, you know, Robin Williams for sure. You know, but you know, Jim Carrey's done some things, the Truman Show and things like that, where you know he's a little more
The Majestic.
dramatic.
Number 23.
Yeah, what was
That's
the
what I was going to bring up.
what was the one of the something mind?
Oh right.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a really great movie. By the way.
Right. So I mean, he's definitely
take my
there.
shit.
So I think it's one of those things where what opportunities were they given to really show what they have.
All right. That was the last one on that actors on actors. But I want to move on, and I just want to hear a little bit about what you guys each have coming next. I understand you have more premieres of Vegas Traffic and the word that you're trying to spread. But I know as filmmakers and producers and writers, you never stop working on other shit. So whoever would like to go first, I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some interesting stuff coming up. An ancient horror movie. So looking to kind of do something kind of like From Hell, Hughes brother movie with Johnny Depp, mixed with kind of 300. So that's really exciting. And then
He auditioned for that bitch.
absolutely. And then doing a show that we're working on that is spanning 3 timelines and takes place in the Samoan Islands.
Okay.
And think Game of Thrones meets Yellowstone.
Oh shit. Okay.
Don't forget Vikings. I know you're not a Viking guy, but I still see it as more of a Samoan Vikings in a sense, where you're following their story. You know what I mean?
Just warriors going through the Samoan Islands, fucking people up, causing havoc, conquering. Or is it more like Samoans love
Samoan people were
and
very
family
peaceful people and family, and so
but Vikings were the opposite. So,
but we don't want to give away too much.
okay.
Yeah, it's an epic, you know? It's a story of the culture, but we have our lead characters through it, you know, and we feel for them, and they have thread lines that are ingrained in telling a realistic rendition of the culture, and some of the folk tales and some of the politics are involved. And it's, again, 3 timelines. It's very interesting that you could do something with that.
That's pretty badass. So 3 timelines. What is the span between these 3 timelines?
So it's
Very
500 BC.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then
I
another
still
kind
think
of
you're giving away too much
earlier
information.
I'm being careful about it.
You're giving away too much information.
Ancient times, and then another time, and then modern times.
Okay. Okay.
At the end of the day, it's a movie, and these 3 times, we're looking at TV series for them all. So,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So for this TV series, are you looking for distribution that's already established? Are you trying to meet on a smaller platform, or how
No, go
exactly
big.
do you attack?
Got to go big on this.
yeah, this is not going to
Big,
be
big,
a
big, big, big,
independent filmmaking.
Okay.
I mean, the series. It's like, think about Yellowstone or Game of Thrones. Really, let's say Game of Thrones is the first couple seasons, maybe, but Yellowstone's the true north in the, I guess, production style of it. So whatever they're paying, it's like it is millions.
Yeah.
You know, so it's got to be a pretty epic one. But the movie is first, and that'll be the one that we're talking about. I also working on a futuristic, famous live action version of a cartoon. That's gonna be fun.
Okay.
Super exciting.
Why don't
Okay.
you don't want to tell them, right? Don't tell them.
Okay.
Off air.
You want to
Off air.
Yeah.
Off air.
Oh fuck yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to hear all the cool shit.
Yeah.
John, anything you would like to add? Anything you got coming up?
Not really. I mean, most of my energy, outside of just life, I'm dedicating to, Vegas Traffic. And I'm not sure if they mentioned it, but, we're trying to do screenings in a lot of the major cities, not just Vegas.
And film festivals in the major film festivals all over the world.
Nice.
Partnering with the nonprofit organizations and local law enforcement to try to bring more awareness to this whole thing. And then as far as, film goes, I've got a few things that I've had tucked away that need a little more work, but it's not acting. It's more of just trying to put a pitch together for a story that I wrote.
Okay.
So that's where my energies lie right now.
So all of you guys write?
Yeah.
To some degree. some probably better than others. You know what I mean?
Is it a collaborative effort in some cases, or?
Sometimes he writes, sometimes I'll write. He writes his own, and sometimes we write together.
Nice. Nice.
A
What is your
lot
guys'
of times
process?
we write together.
Like, do you guys get together and write together? Or?
We have, but we felt that with our busy schedules, it's so much easier to do it online.
Like Google Docs,
And,
shared docs.
Yeah, we just get on Google Meet, and we got a pretty good system down. We get into it, talk about the overall picture of it all, and then
It's been a couple years now, right? A few years now, maybe.
Yeah.
Nice.
We've probably developed like 4 or 5 projects, and
Yeah, like shows,
more.
short films, features.
more than 4
Yeah.
or 5. Yeah. I think we shot 6 shorts in one summer or something like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just did really well in the Desert Film Festival, Desert Wave Film Festival.
Nice.
In their
And
49-hour
Johnny was the
challenge.
lead in that, and
We got like best director, best lead, and,
Hell yeah, man.
best
Congratulations,
picture and
guys.
stuff like that.
Well,
So
let's
that was
not
really
forget
cool.
who got nominated for best actress. My little
His
girl.
daughter.
My little girl was in it too.
Yeah, his
So
daughter.
I played
And she did
opposite
really
my
good
daughter,
too.
so that was
She was really good. That's on YouTube.
His
too, if you
daughter's
wanna check
been in
it
it. His son, and my daughter's the only one that hasn't been on film, so we're working
Next.
on that one.
Okay. How old is your child?
She's 8.
8. Okay. And yours is 7?
7.
Okay. Mine's 7. You said 13. Damn, man. That's exciting. Yeah. Shout out to the kids. All right. Well, shoot, you guys. Go ahead.
What am I working on?
Oh,
You
shit.
went there
My
and
bad.
there.
My bad. I skipped you.
I mean, I'm working on stuff with Joey as well, but I also I'm working with somebody in town. We're doing it's a film, featured film. I'm casting for it. I guess I can't really say too much about it right now, but I am helping that film get on its feet. I'm looking forward to helping them because they're friends of mine that I've known for a long time in town, and they're working hard. And Cleo Flucker, you the man. Give the guy props for doing what he does. He's never given up. I always give props to people like that, you know.
Cleo, let's make Toy Box, bro.
Yeah, that he likes Toy Box, by the way. That's another one of our films.
Let's make it, bro.
Yeah, Cleo likes Toy Box. So we have a feeling that Toy Box will happen with Cleo after this. But yeah, so I'm working on that. And of course, I'm pushing for our next screening for Vegas Traffic to be
March
in LA.
1st. Oh, sorry.
Our next screen after March 1st. We discussed March 1st, but the one after that, I'd like to get going on that, try to establish a place, get some sponsors in place. I already have a possible sponsor in LA, and we have some theater concepts possibly. So that's our next big one we want to do. And then we're open to other cities. If anybody out there says, hey, I know something, we're open to it. You know, if you can help us make it happen. We don't have the big bucks, but we have the big hearts, and people are listening, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. Yeah.
They can go to VegasTrafficTheMovie.com, or they can go to Vegas Traffic the Movie at Instagram to keep up with us and to find out more about our foundation, Stop the Traffic.
Yeah, everybody needs to check that out. It's very important, regardless if you're a parent or not. We need to pay attention and watch these kids. You know, love these kids like they're your own and be there for them. Everybody deserves a fighting chance and an opportunity to live a long, fruitful life. And if that gets fucked up in the beginning, the least we could do is lend a helping hand or lend a word. Like, hey, this is happening. You guys need to pay attention to this. Yeah.
And if they can't come to the movie premiere, you can always get a more expanded edition of the story by going on Amazon and buying the novel.
Yeah.
The book.
Yeah, nice. Who wrote the book?
I did.
Damn, nice, man. How long did that take?
About a year and a half.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that was you gathering research and,
It's so the script is pretty much it's close to the book, but you can dive a little bit more into the story. So there's actually a couple more characters in the book, and there's a few different more pieces that make it a little bit bigger, like politically and stuff. So you just gotta you gotta read the book to find out, especially if you can't watch the movie yet.
Yeah.
because it's not out yet for you to see.
But you do have to go to the movie March 1st at the Notoriety, especially because I'm going to give a special shout out because this guy right here is badass in this movie.
Yeah, really
I'm
good.
going to tell you that right
Really
now.
great.
throwing ninja stars and shit?
likes it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't let me. I tried.
We cut those parts out. But he tried. No, he really, really does a great job in this movie. And I think a lot of people come out of it talking about him. And I just want you guys to know that. And I want you to come see it for that reason, too.
Yeah, it's worth seeing. I got a question for Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say to somebody that was like, I'm on the fence about going? Like, why should they go see you in this movie?
You take your shirt off.
What's important about it? And why are they going to like it?
Well, it goes far beyond me, and my opinion is, we have so many things in life that need more attention, not just child trafficking. But what happens is we walk around with our heads on our phone, we're tunnel vision, right? And until we rattle that can more to build awareness, I think this is our effort to rattle that can and make some noise. Now, I mean, I'm thinking pretty big here, but imagine if the noise that we're making right now and we're trying to make, being on your podcast and everything, that something maybe happens at a higher level, maybe some sort of new bill comes through or something with child trafficking, or they add more resources to the Metropolitan Police Department specifically for this sort of thing that maybe we had a little hand in. That's how you get change, right? So a lot of people like to talk about it. And, I'm going to puff my chest a little bit as we're doing something about it, and so we are sincere and we're genuine in what we're trying to do here. So by going to see the movie, yes, it's very entertaining. And Joey did a great job of writing this and Trenton producing this, and we all put our hearts into it. And so, yes, you will be entertained. It's a very serious subject matter, but there's action, there's humor. I think it covers a lot of the bases. So you'll be very entertained. But then walking out of there, hopefully, the wish is that you have a higher sense of awareness that this really is a serious problem. It's not we have to worry about Godzilla coming out of the ocean type of thing and you walk out and you forget about it. No, this happens everyday life, we give a little bit of educational tips too. We talk about, do you know about the universal hand signal for I need help? Okay, so
and diving, we do 444.
Teach your kid.
Right. So now this is something it's amazing that more parents don't know this, but to teach your kid, and even a small kid can learn this. But if they take their thumb and they tuck it in and they clasp it with the other 4 fingers, okay, that means I'm being held against my will.
Oh.
So they could be in the back of a car, not have to say a word, and just do this out the window. If somebody recognizes that, like, why is this kid holding his hand up? But if you see that, that means I need some help.
Yeah.
He's like, is the kid throwing a power to the people?
Yeah.
No, dog. He's probably being trafficked, and he learned about
exactly.
how to talk to another person through sign language, I guess, right?
Or behind their back, and another big part of it is, who's watching these. It's not just us and everyday consumers, but people who work at gas stations. You know what I mean?
Casinos.
Most of the cars need to get gas at some point in time. So keep an eye out. Anything that looks weird, right? See something, say something. Obviously, the casinos. Every time we have a large event here, a lot of stuff gets to fly under the radar because of the police get spread a little thin. What to watch for. So getting back to to Joey's question, and I'm glad he asked this question. Why should they go? Well, yeah, you're going to be entertained. You're going to have a good time, but this is the beginning of something. This has grown and evolved much more than us just making an entertaining movie. And so we're really trying to rattle this cage and make some noise, and hopefully bring about some change.
Yeah, and practically, if you go see this movie, part of the proceeds are directly going towards tried and true organizations that are actually fighting against trafficking, and the other part of the proceeds are helping us get this movie out to more people so that they could see it, so that the conversation could get started even on a bigger level. So when you're coming to see a movie, you're not just coming to see a movie. You're actually helping children who are being exploited.
So be prepared to walk out of that theater and looking at the world differently.
Yeah.
And that's what the key is for us, to make you see things from a different perspective so that you can make change yourself.
It's really well said.
Really, really good point, guys. I feel like just with us being Vegas people, we need to go support you guys, but also us being parents and people that genuinely care about the community and the ones around us. Go see this movie and support this movie March 1st. I'm going to be there. I'll buy my tickets tomorrow. I definitely want to come and check it out. Ever since I saw the first trailer, I was like, shit, I have to check this out. And then, seeing Kevin kick some ass, I was like, let me go support him. But after hearing your guys' message, it's even more important to be there. I'm sure her big-headed ass over there will go and check it out too.
You guys are welcome to come.
And just for the record, both I and Joey are in the film as well. We make cameos. He makes a better one than I do, but we are all in the film as well.
Nice. You got to fill in those gaps on the indie side, right?
That's right.
Yeah, damn straight. Before I sum up this podcast, I do want to ask you guys, how can we audition for you guys for your future stuff?
Who are you?
I'm Levi McDonald. I'm trying to make a name, baby. Shit.
Well, we always are pretty well publicizing our auditions. Usually, we're on the normal audition sites. What are those?
I'm always on Backstage, and then I post things on Facebook. But I really like to just stick on Backstage. To be honest,
What was the other one though? It was Backstage,
I didn't like
and then
that one. It didn't.
Okay, don't even want to mention it. Okay, well, yeah, backstage, and then
It was
we do
Craigslist.
Facebook,
It was Craigslist, just for the record.
Facebook groups.
A little weird.
I think that's kind of.
Or, in your case, my inbox, you know what I'm saying? Just hit me up.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. We do like to, on our stories and stuff, we like to keep up on what we're doing. And I think if you kind of stay up on what we're doing, you're going to kind of see, because it's not a secret. Like the Adam Sandler reference is awesome because I love Adam Sandler. And I think it's so great you get to work with your friends. But I am not afraid to work with more people who are right for the roles, you know? And I mean, that's how you got to keep going. However, I will say I do love working with people who jive well, and I want to keep bringing them on to other things.
Who you trust.
If we can. Sometimes you can't force, especially when it comes to actors, sometimes you can't force a role for somebody in a project. But if there is something and you like working with them, obviously you're going to want to think of them first,
Exactly.
And so if the schedules work, because that's a big deal. Schedules sometimes don't work, and it's not a personal thing. It's like, plenty of A-list projects, millions of dollars projects. I want to do it, but I'm in contract for another thing. I can't do it. So no worries. We're going with Jake Gyllenhaal then.
What I think we kind of do different than the rest, and Johnny kind of agrees in this, some parts of it. I'll get into that, but I think we televise a lot of it. They say keep it to yourself until you're, and then show. We don't do that. We're independent. We need the help. We need the support. So he's awesome. Like we'll shoot one day and bam, he's got a clip of it that's good, and you'll put it out that night. And people are like, dang, the actors are like, dang, I already got footage, and people are like following us. We hit it up. We everything that's happening. And I think it's just different. And then on the flip side, what indie filmmakers are going out, getting on the news, trying to make sure we're on people's podcasts like yourself, supporting you. Like they're not televising. They're just making a film and then they're sitting around doing nothing with it,
so
right?
making a movie is part of
before.
it, but also what happens after you make the movie is super important.
people to see it.
Marketing. Yeah. Like I've said this before, and I know, we've talked about this, I'm a huge fan of Ryan Reynolds when it comes to, I don't know, we've got a bunch of court things going on now, but I'm a huge fan of Ryan Reynolds and how he carries himself with his marketing. And so I've always kind of tried to apply that fun, sort of exciting, even though it's a sad subject, and tough subject, but the movie itself has so much heart and it does have humor, and it's not in the way that you would think it would poke fun at the seriousness, because it's not. It blends well. It's like a very nice balance, And that's what you need, because you need it. You like those old school '90s movies, like '92 to '96. That was the golden age for movies. I honestly want to say that so many gems came out of there. They knew how to kill you right in the third act, right? Just pull you right in from your toenails. And you're like, I'm in all the way. I got to find out how this ends. And I think to get people to go to movies, we need to make movies that are worth it. And if we can make movies on a shoestring budget with no money, people with money. We had none to make this, so come watch and see what we did. Yeah.
People with money?
Yeah. And come find out how it's that story, like Robert Rodriguez, how he made that original movie,
Mariachi?
El Mariachi, and how he was like the
Turn that bitch into Desperado, baby.
Right. He was the producer. He was the camera guy. He was the editor. You know what I mean? Got on the radar of Quentin Tarantino, one of the greats. I'm hoping to work with these people: Spielberg, Nolan, Tarantino, Michael Bay, Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, Leonardo DiCaprio, Adam Sandler, Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds. Who else are we missing? Oh, Sean Levy. Is it Sean Levy or Sean Levy?
That's a good.
How about?
I think it's always Levy. I always say. I don't know why.
How about Bobby Boucher?
Bobby Boucher.
Well, you guys, I really appreciate your time on Talk Smack with Mac. Anytime I have people get on the show for the first time, I sit back, I shut my mouth, and I give you guys a chance to share with the audience anything that you haven't covered thus far, whether that's social medias that you want them to follow, or anything else. Is Vegas Traffic going to be in a certain city, and you want them to look out for that? Whatever it may be. John, let's start with you, because I'm gonna change this battery again.
Really, my ending message is, to help support not only us as independent local filmmakers, but also the cause that we're really trying to fight for here. It'd be great if you come see the movie. We really want you to see the movie, but even more importantly than that, if this resonates with you, that this really is a problem, and you're paying more attention to what we're trying to get across here, that's really what we're trying to get out there.
Talk more, John. Talk more. Now's your chance.
I mean, follow, Vegas Traffic, themovie.com. For me personally, not so much. Just I get boring Instagram and things like that. I'm not so big on that sort of thing. You can always look at my IMDb. That's always helpful.
IMDb, baby.
But yeah, that's about all I get to say about that subject.
That's all I got to say about that.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Mama says.
The alligators are so hungry because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. We like to have a good time. And, we are good friends. But when it comes to talking about serious matters, we are serious, And so if you really do want to make a difference, come check out the movie. Follow us on Instagram, Vegas Traffic the Movie, Joey Charafi. This is Trenton Brisco. Look up John Molinaro. You could find him on Google and all that jazz. Follow us because we do keep you up to date with those items. And we can get you on our email list so you can stay up to date with Charafi Entertainment stuff.
Yes, we need
and
that.
make sure to keep an eye out for Stop the Traffic Foundation because we're going to be making some big splashes here in the Valley about, making some big moves about stopping child trafficking because there's some pretty dark stuff that's happened here. And I really do think that it'd be good for big corporations and organizations to attach themselves to a tried and true foundation that really wants to make a difference because I think Vegas was Sin City for a long time, and what happens here stays here was our motto for a long time. It's not anymore officially if you want to talk the LVCVA. And we just want to make a difference. So keep an eye out for that. Stop the Traffic Foundation.
In all seriousness aside, I just want to say to the viewers that Joey plugged my name. That's fine. But we need you. We need you. Without you, we have nothing. Without someone to see our story, we have nothing. Without someone to help us bring awareness, we have nothing without you. So please come support a local Las Vegas-driven film. There was almost 200 people that worked on this film. And that's all Las Vegas, people. So please, please come just support it. And if you didn't like it, cool, thanks for coming. But you will. That's how I say.
Oh, yeah. But that sums it up for this episode of Talk Smack with Mac. You guys, it was a pleasure meeting each and every one of you. And I look forward to working with you guys someday. And at the very least, let's spread this message that you guys are trying to spread so we could bring some awareness to the people around us.
Well,